Hi everybody, Jo here again. Thanks for joining me today. If you want to grab yourself a brew, a cheeky snack, and then we can have a bit of a catch up. We're going a bit Christmassy today. Recently I have done quite a few Christmas designs. I think sort of in summer we get used to making our Christmas cards, don't we? I say summer, it's very cloudy today. I don't quite know where the summer's gone, but anyway. And what I thought today is we'd stick to one colour. So we're just going to use a one colour theme. Now, I don't know about you, but I sort of change my colour scheme each year. So sometimes I like to just use one colour. I suppose the beauty of Lavinia stamps, depending what mood I'm in, I can throw lots of colours, lots of ink at it, or I can go quite clean and simple. But also, ideally, if you're new to Lavinia stamps, if you're new to card making, maybe you've never made your own Christmas cards before, this is great because you don't need a lot of product. And this is the design I came up with. Now, recently, obviously, the large swing bed. It's going to be in my head as the large swing. You know what I'm like. We've used it in lots of different ways. Tracy's done some brilliant demos and we've got lots of videos on here. Obviously, you can put a fairy in there. You can put so many different of our beautiful creatures, our fairies in here. What I like about this is you can also just use it as a shape. Now, you know I have a thing about wreath cards. For me, instantly, I just saw this instant wreath. My friend Lisa suggested a bauble. Now I'm thinking, yes, glossy accents over that, or clear embossing powder. Make yourself a hanging bauble. That would be beautiful, wouldn't it? So that's your extra homework courtesy of Lisa. So thank you for that, Lisa. So I'm just going to create this today, and I've gone for a blue theme. Really, just because I did a workshop at the weekend, our Lavinia Christmas workshop, and we made 4 different card designs, and we kept to a blue theme. And really, it's Mr. Tim Holt's fault because he brought out the new prize ribbon, and I just had to play with that colour. So my card blank, I'm starting off, this is Multifarious card, and this is to fit a DL. So obviously this is your Slimline card size. And just because for me, I love, it gives sort of an elegant feel. Now in inches, because I know you like to know in inches, so it's 8 inches by 3.5. And I'm going to start just by edging my card. And I'm actually going to use, I've got a, now is this silver, gold, or copper? This is gold. I'm going to use a gold Sharpie. And I'm just going to do this first. I know a few of you are quite nervous about doing this, but I do think if you do it first, you know that you haven't, should it slip, you're not going to ruin your whole design. You haven't spent ages stamping. So hopefully that might reassure you and maybe give you confidence to have a go. The main thing is hold your card down and just press. Now, if you heard a bit of sighing there, Eric, for those of you who know, is my black Labrador, and he's sat under my chair here. And he has to have medication an hour before his food, so I've just given him his medication. So he's come to sit in here with me, obviously, to remind me that in an hour he will need to be fed. So if he starts snoring, all I can do is apologise, but you'll know it's not me. So there we go, I've edged. And just with it being Christmas, I thought it would be nice to use a gold. And then we'll come on to the stamping. Now for this, because I'm going for this blue theme, I've gone for the Versafine Clair and the Twilight. Just because this is such a lovely, lovely blue colour. And I'm going to use this large swing bed stamp. And it's on my Lavinia block. And I shall just ink it up. And there are so many uses for this. This actual stamp for me is just one of those that I'm going to be using again and again and again. So again, lots of light tapping. And I've just caught the edge, so I'm just going to clean that. And I'm just going to pop that sort of in the middle. So how are you keeping? I hope you're keeping well. I hope things are going okay for you. And I hope our friends in Australia, I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're coming out of your latest lockdown and you can soon get back. I know it's sort of got to quite a few of you. You've messaged and said you know you're having to use all your abilities to craft because it's you feel so terrible at being locked down again. So we do send lots of love and hugs to you, and hopefully everything will be back to normal soon. So there's our swing stamp, and as I say, for me, that detail is just so beautiful. I'm just going to turn that over, give it a little bit of a blot, just to try and minimise sort of smudging the ink. And then what we'll do next is we're going to come in with our holly stamp, and this is one of the pound hollies, and I'm going to use the same ink, and I just want to build up. So at the top here, I'm just going to stamp, and I want to sort of build up that nice, this is where you almost become a bit of a flower arranger. Now you could have them together, but I think I'll just alternate them. I almost want to have a nice design, but I don't want to obliterate the shape of this lovely stamp. So I sort of want to accentuate it with my stamping. Now, obviously you can do this in coloured ink if you wanted. You could use your Shady Lady, it'd be great for the green. But as I say, I just thought I'd keep it all with a sort of a blue theme. But this is one of those designs that I think you could have such fun with and make it, but change your colour scheme up. I mean, I must admit, every time I put in a Lavinia order, and believe you me, the design team, we do order. Soon as something new comes out, we're like, oh, Tracy, I need that. I put in an ink pad, a coloured ink pad that I haven't got with the Versafine Clair, just so that, because I do love them so much. And again, I'm just sort of going round, sort of alternating where. Now, if I want, I could put one hanging down the middle, but I think I'll just stick to that wreath shape. Now, I am going to add some berries, but as I say, I don't want to overdo it because I actually want to keep all the detail here. But the beauty of when you build up these sort of wreath designs or garland designs is that you can add as little or as much as you want. And we've got so many gorgeous little stamps. Now, the berry stamp I'm going to use is actually off the berry wreath. So this is a stamp set with two gorgeous larger stamps, and this is the little stamp that I use. And again, it happens to be my favourite little berry stamp. So I shall again start at the top, and I'm just almost going to fill in the gaps. And again, take your time, don't rush this. You don't want to, you know, I say that thing about you don't want to make a pizza out of it. You want to sort of keep the integrity in the shape. We sort of want to make it classy, not brassy. That's what they say, isn't it? And again, I'm just taking my ink pad to my stamp each time, only because, again, the other day I was saying to you, we all know our limitations. If I do that, which sometimes I do, and sometimes I do it for speed, I must admit, I end up getting ink on the edge of my stamping block. And I know if I do it this way, just take my time, I'll get a better result and less chance of getting ink anywhere else on my card. So I'm afraid you're just going to have to bear with me, and it will take a wee bit longer. But like I say, that's just the way that for me, I have to do it. But again, it's like everything I say, rush. You know, we're supposed to enjoy our crafting, aren't we? Now, for me, I need something here it's round there, it's not round here. So we can just, now's the bit when you look at it and you can alter the shape a little. So if I put that one there, you see how that looks better? Let me have a look. You can see, can't you? That looks better, that shape. And we need something there, don't we? And then just there, and I think we don't want to overcook it, but we just want to get that nice shape. So I'm thinking one there. Yeah, that balances that. And then one just there. Maybe just catch the edge. Don't want it too far out. Yeah, and that balances. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I like that. Now, what I will bring in is one of the new fairy charms. Now, I love these. Let's take that little one off and pop it back. Now, this, I'm thinking, I just want to have it dangling down. I don't want it too far. So what I shall do is just take a little bit of ink off the top and just wipe it with my Inky Binky, and then just have a look and possibly put it there. And that's lovely because it looks like that's all into one. Now, I could leave it like that, but I want to bring in our small dwellings. And this idea of this, it's when Lisa said about the bauble, and I thought, oh yes. So thank you, Lisa. That was her little comment about, oh, I think the small dwellings would look lovely. And I thought, yes. So credit to you, Mrs. But I do think it's lovely how we can sort of inspire each other. So we'll pop this one in the middle. We'll put that one there. Now again, the foliage may have come in a little bit further on this one than my original one, but it doesn't matter. I think we can still get all three in. And again, I'm keeping the same ink pad. So I think I'll still put that one behind there. And then my tall one. Such a useful little set, this. Right, and he's going to go there, just there, I think. Hoping I didn't get my head over then. If I did, sorry. Yeah. Right, I'm just going to give those a little wipe. You know me, I can't put my stamps back dirty. And then we'll give that a bit of a blot. And what we're going to do is we'll just add our little sentiment. And I think on my original I put with love. So on this one, let's put just for you. Let's mix it up a bit. Now these are from the heartfelt verses. And again, I do find these so useful. So let's stamp this straight on. Hardest bit will be getting it straight. And then it's nice. What I like is, I like the verse to look like it's part of the design, not like it's just sort of been added on as an extra. So let's add our little sprig of holly there. And then, shall we add a... No, we're going to leave it like that. So once again, let's give that a bit of a blot. Just because if you remember, Versafine Clair is a slower drying ink. So we just want to blot it. And then, because what we're going to do is add a little bit of colour now, and we don't want to spoil that design that we've just done. Now again, if you're going to batch make Christmas cards, this would be a lovely one to batch make, because you could do all your stamping. And what we'll do now is we'll bring in our landscape masks, and I'm going to use number one, I call it. It's the flattest one, and we'll use our prize ribbon and a stencil brush. I have to say, these stencil brushes are just fabulous. Now I'm going to take some colour off, and I'm just going to use my my mask. And again, I'm doing it sideways just because that's the way my head works. Always go on your mask first, and then I just want to flick a little bit of colour just to ground these houses. And if I'm not sure how it looks, I can lift it up, look, and I think that's enough colour. And what I think will be nice is if I just ground my sentiment as well. It's these little touches that just, and if you look, I've got some ink on my mask, so I can use that. I can just flick. And again, I don't want much. Lift it up and have a look. It's always gently, gently. Now, I think that needs to be a bit higher. I think that's a bit low down for me. So I can come back in with my mask, look. Just bring it up a little bit. And we'll just add a little bit more. There we go. I think that looks better. And then what I'm going to do is add a little bit of colour around this beautiful garland. So I'm going to get my piece of copy paper. Now with this, what I'm going to do is put the lid on my ink so I don't put my stencil brush in my ink again. I'll have enough ink on my mat here. Now these stencil brushes, what we need to do now is be gently, gently. So I'm just going to flick and come in and just flick around my design. So again, it's a nice gentle, hold it gently. I'm going to turn it to the side, pick a bit more colour up. And again, just flick. I'm actually just going to go around here. And I just want a bit of a sort of an aura, a lovely blue aura around the garland. And again, there's such soft bristles in these brushes, but it is a very light touch and it's a very flick flick. And again, for batch card making, this is a lovely way of quickly adding colour. Turn it round. I think I just need, and I am being mindful, look, of keeping my kitchen roll there. I just want a little bit more blue there and there. And I almost want to come on the outskirts. I want to go around my stamping. So like I said before, it's very important you block that stamping, and then we won't smudge it. We won't spoil the integrity of the design. But there we go. And how quick is that? Just a tiny bit more here. Just on that bit there. There we go. And that, I just think, looks so effective. Now imagine doing a whole set of these in different colours. And then a few little finishing off tricks. Really, your design is almost there. We'll come in with our white pen and just add that white little dash on those berries. And we can just add a little bit on the roof. Just a little bit. And again, you will take your time with this. And this is a bit where I always think I'm going to miss one of those berries. And you're all going to shout at me, "You've missed one." Right, I'm happy with that. But what I am going to do is come in with my gold Signo. And let's add some sparkle. And what we're going to do is just dot the windows in here. I only want to give it a hint of the light in those windows. But what I do want to do, and again, a little tip, start from the top, is just, I want to put little dots where my holly is and my berries. Now, again, I know you're probably shouting at me saying, but holly berries are red. I know they are, but I didn't want to bring in red. I wanted to keep this, the integrity of the blue. So I'm just adding a few little dots as well. So I'm colouring the berries in, but I'm adding little dots as well. Just where I think I might need that little bit of sparkle. And again, I'm just turning my work. Again, can you see I'm trying not to rest on my work. I quite often get messages of people saying, you know, of crafters, how do you keep your work, how do you not get dirty marks? And a lot of it is just by making sure you've got your kitchen roll, not resting on it. Now, how are we looking? And if you want to add, you can add some more little dots, look, just for that little bit of sparkle. And what I do want to add, just with my white, is just a bit of highlight on here on the heart. And then back in with my gold, and we'll put a few little dots down to there. Oh, nearly forgot those. Thank you, whoever shouted that then. Thank you very much for telling me. And we'll just go in with the white. There we go. Now, many of you will want to leave it like that. Me being me, I've got this little bit of ink which I've left here on purpose because I'm going to get my fan brush out of my water pot, and I just want to add a little bit of delicate in the diagonal. I like the diagonal just there to finish it off. Now, if you're the sort of person who doesn't like that, you could add some white Posca splats if you wanted. You could leave it without your splats altogether. If you wanted to add some snow, you could use some paint, some white acrylic paint, and you could flick that across. For me, I just thought the blue, I wanted to keep it quite sort of blue based. And then the last little finishing thing I'm going to get, I've got a little blue bow here, and I'm just going to get a little bit of glue. It's the worst bit, isn't it? How many times does your glue not work? I think it does this, it knows you're doing a recording and it says, right, I'm not going to work. Pop that there. So as usual, what I'll do, I'll bring in the original and I'll just open the card up so that then you can see the two side by side. And that's my little offering for this week. As I say, a bit of a festive design, but it's just using this beautiful large swing. Now, I know quite a few of you have done festive designs with this already, which is lovely, which is why I went for a bit of a coloured theme. Just keep it sort of monochromatic, but it's lovely. I do think it's great how we inspire each other on here. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you have a go. If you do, please tag me in. Maybe you come up with a different colour theme. Maybe using different stamps. Maybe you could have go at the bauble. Do you know what? So many ideas. And so much lovely people. Some lovely friends on here. So you take care. As always, love and hugs from me. Bye for now.